Welcome into Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Today on the show, what to do with Ian Anderson. Have the Braves trade deadline plans changed? And something I never thought I would see in my lifetime. It's all next, Monday morning, Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked On Sports Atlanta.
This is Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome in on this Monday morning edition of Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. We ask you to head to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta in the search browser, find our page, hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment. Free and available on all your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Download us for free there. Leave us a 5-star review. And, of course, give me a follow on my personal Twitter page. That would be at JMCH316. Well, Braves went into yesterday after having beat the California Angels the first two games with a chance to sweep, and who knows, potentially could have even taken over first place as they were only half a game out. And then Ian Anderson got on the mound, and that seemed to be kind of all she wrote. 3 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs. So Anderson now falls to 8-6 on the year, but more importantly is the fact that he's now sitting with a 5.31 ERA. It has not been a good run for Ian Anderson by any stretch. And, you know, the crazy thing was he came off of maybe being the best postseason pitcher the Braves had last year. And obviously he's been pretty good his first couple of years. Kind of think, okay, year 3, great postseason. Things are going to come around. And we know we can count on Ian Anderson. And here we come in the year, and it's been nothing but a struggle. And if you look this year, he's made 19 starts on the season. Now, the Braves are 12-7 when he starts. He's got an 8-6 record himself, but the Braves are 12-7 when he starts. So the Braves are finding ways to win when he's out there. But 9 of his 19 starts this year, he's given up at least 4 or more runs. And he's had 7 runs given up in multiples of starts. He also, in only 95 innings pitched, and you think about 19 starts, only 95 innings pitched. He's also given up 48 walks on the season, which, if you want to extrapolate, you're talking about in a 200-inning season, that's 100 walks. That's a high number. He also is sitting with his lowest of his first 3 years in the league, his lowest strikeouts per 9-inning number. And that number, by the way, has gone down each of the 3 years that he's been in the major leagues, and this being his worst. And a less than 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Nothing. And again, I don't need to look at analytics, sabermetrics, metrosexual stats, whatever you're, into, whatever like that. I don't have to look at bips and bops and baffs and bips and boops and all this kind of stuff to know. You tell me a guy's got a 5.31 ERA. He's given up 4 or more runs in 9 of his 19 starts, less than 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, almost 100 walks that he'll have, or what would project out to 100 walks in a 200-inning season. None of that's good. I'm old school enough baseball to tell you I don't need to see bips, bops, boops, baps, and biffs and all this kind of stuff to know that ain't a very good season out there. So what do you do with Ian Anderson? Do you send him down? He does have, I think he has 3 options that are available to him. So it's not like you can't send him down to the minors. He does have that available to him, that you can move him down to the minors without having to DFA him or anything like that. You could send him down. I don't know that it makes a lot of sense. I'll be honest with you. I don't think that sending him down right now is the best thing to do for him. Now, we'll talk about more about this in just a second. But first, let me mention today, sponsored by Sports Card Investor app. Look, you all know that I'm in the sports card trade. I've done a lot, spent most of my life collecting cards and things like that. Don't have nearly as much as what I used to and things like that. But if you're trying to figure out, if you're like me, you're trying to figure out a way to value out what you have, what's worth selling, what's not worth selling. Do I have any hidden gems or any sort of thing like that? The easiest, best thing to do is to download the Sports Card Investor app today. 630,000 cards from all sports genres are available to you, and they're adding hundreds more each week. You can find out recent values of your favorite cards over the last 7 days, 30 days. All the charts are available there. You can find out what the best prices and the best deals going right now through eBay Deals Futures, the eBay Deals feature, excuse me, that's available to you. So everything that you need is right in the palm of your hand at Sports Card Investor app. And look, it makes it simple. It makes it easy. It's free to download. You can keep track of what your inventory is. You can find the best deals on that particular card that you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for Ronald Acuna Jr. cards. You can look and see over the last 30 days what the prices have been. You can find out what prices are going for on eBay right now. Or maybe you're like me. I have a pretty limited Ronald Acuna Jr. autographed card when he was in the minors for the Rome Braves. Hey, how much could that thing be worth? Find out on Sports Card Investor app. Download that today. It's available free in the Google Play or Apple app stores, or go to sportsinvestor.com/locked-on and check out their inventory of 630,000 cards. So I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to send Ian Anderson. Look, at this point, Ian Anderson is a guy who's pitched a bunch in the majors and a bunch at the biggest stage in the world, right? He's been in multiple playoffs, been in multiple championship series, World Series, everything that you could throw at a pitcher. And yes, I understand that he is a young guy and maybe you could fine-tune some things, 24 years old. But I think at this point, you have to work with him up here at this level and get some things tweaked and figure out. It's not injury related, I don't think. I mean, unless there's an injury that they're hiding about him, but it's not injury related. This is where you're supposed to pay your pitching coach, right? This is where your pitching coach is supposed to help get some things figured out. Now, if that means he needs to throw on the side, even if that means if he needs to skip a start to work with him on some things, I'd be in favor of that. But I don't think sending him down to the minors where he goes down and he dominates down there just instantly changes it. If your pitching coach up here can't figure out what's going on, the hell you have a pitching coach up here for? What, to walk out and talk to a guy on the mound, when there's, 3 guys on and nobody out, and say, hey, make a good pitch? I mean, you have to have a guy who can figure out what the issues are with your pitcher. So I don't think sending him down, to me, I need him to figure things out up here. He's been in every big moment. He's done everything you could ever ask of a starting pitcher, even only in a 3-year career. And I don't want to get knee-jerk to, because again, we've been down this road with Braves pitchers before. Send him up, send him down, send him up, send him. I used to joke on the radio all the time. It's the Partridge family. They went and got a green version, right? A natural gas burning version of the Partridge Family bus. And there would be guys running from Buford to Smyrna in back. And it was like the Partridge Family. We're just going to keep shipping pitchers and players back and forth. Tukey's here, Elder's here, this guy's here, Wright's here, this guy's here, Baba, Newcomb's here, and we just kept running guys back and forth. Get Ian Anderson figured out. If you haven't sent him down at this point, and we're well past the halfway point of the season, we're past the All-Star break, okay, what are you going to send him down to make a few starts? Because what if he doesn't get things figured out down there? You need him for the playoffs. You're expecting him to be a playoff pitcher. You start looking at your rotation, you factor him in, obviously, given especially what he did last year, into your rotation. So I think the better plan is you work with him up here and you work on some things on the side, right? Leo was a master of all of this. Let's work on some things on the side. Let's get some things figured out and get it done up here. At this point, I don't think that getting him down into Gwinnett and letting them put their hands on him, and even letting him go down there and just pitch to AAA guys, I don't think that's going to make a big difference. Because again, seen that. I've been down that road. You get him back up here and you don't know if he's fixing it. Let Rick Kranitz work with him up here. Let him get things figured out up here at the major league level. And if you can, we're going to talk about what the Braves are looking at now with the trade deadline. If you can't get him figured out, then look, Strider's going to move a spot ahead of him in the playoffs. And you're going to have to, maybe either roll the dice with him for a start if you've got a lead in a playoff series, or you end up not putting him in as a starter, maybe use him out of the bullpen. But I think fix him up here is more of the way to go for Ian Anderson right now. All right, when we come back, what do the Braves do now with the trade deadline? Because certainly some things have changed, as we say in the wrestling world. Plans change, pal. We'll talk about that next. It's Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked on Sports Atlanta.